Hi there, my name is Christopher Lorette, and I'm a student at Moody Bible Institute in their distance learning program. I'm making a video today to help people understand how to better utilize Crowell Library, which is one of the best tools that Moody's made available for distance learning students. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in, and hopefully what I'm able to share will help. So first thing you're going to do is log into your Blackboard account like you normally would on Moody. I've already taken the liberty of doing that for myself, but let's keep going. You can go to Crowell Library in the top right hand corner. And after you go to Crowell Library, the next thing you're going to want to go to do is go down to your search bar down here. You're going to want to highlight distance learning. After you do that, you're going to want to choose what you're looking for. Now, I've chosen a book based on my anthropology class in hopes that I might be able to help some people even more. This is called Adam and Eve as Historical People and Why It Matters. I'm going to let you take a look at it for a second, and I'm going to help us look for it, download it, and even cite it. So, I'm going to bring this back over here really quick, and we're going to look exactly for that. Just type in Adam and Eve as Historical People and Why It Matters. You can see I've already pre-searched for this before. And you're not going to click Limit Search to only ebooks. Okay? Don't click on that. So just click on that, go to Search. All right. And then your prompt for EBSCOhost for Crowell Library will come on up. Now, when you first enter into this, you're logged in only as a guest. So you need to log in. Luckily, your Moody ID and account and password works the same for this as it does for everything else. So you're going to go ahead and log in again, and then you'll officially be logged into Crowell Library. Now, there's a lot of stuff to take in here, and so we're just going to go ahead and take it a little piece by piece. Now, we know that John C. Collins was the person who wrote what we're looking at, the text we're looking for, and so this is it. Now, don't click on PDF full text just yet. We'll get there in a second. For right now, just click on the link. All right, it will bring up exactly the book that you're looking for. Now, sometimes you might have to go through a couple different types of keywords, because sometimes titles are kind of generic for things like the image of God, which is great, but sometimes it makes it difficult to search for a book when everything else is called the image of God. So knowing your author will super duper help. So after you get to this point, we know that this is the correct one that we're looking for, and this is great. Now, if we needed to download the text because your class didn't provide it or something, you can go ahead and just click on the PDF full text right here. Okay? And it will bring it up for you within the browser program itself, which you can see is the same exact one that I have. Actually, this one's kind of a higher resolution. That's kind of nice. So that's good to know for the future too. But we've got our basic stuff here. Now, a lot of your papers, a lot of your teachers will require you to utilize some of the texts that you've read that week in your papers for that week. And so sometimes we just get these PDFs like this, and it can be somewhat difficult to find the information you need to cite. This is another great way that Moody Library can help you. All right, so we're going to go over here to Cite. And what you'll see here is that Crowell Library offers you a bunch of different formats for how to cite this in your Works Cited page for your assignment. Now, if you're an undergrad student like myself, chances are that you're going to be doing it in MLA. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down here. Perfect. MLA. Now, because this is an article within a publication, you'll notice that it's cited differently than a book, which is another reason why Crowell Library is super duper helpful, because it does all of the grunt work for you. We've got the name of our author, we've got the article he wrote, we have the publication he wrote in, the volume it's written in, the number, September, the pages, etc., down the list. Now, I usually just copy and paste right into a Word document, which we'll go ahead and bring up right now. And so make certain that you do keep text only. And the reason for that is because if you do the keep text only, it will conform the font, size, etc. to the paper that you're working in. Whereas if you were to do keep source formatting, you'll get this kind of annoying gray border that you're going to have to get rid of eventually. All right, so keep text only is a really nice little handy tool as well for those of you who didn't know about it. But let's say you accidentally did keep source formatting. You're like, I wish I didn't do that. Well, simple way around that is to press Control Z and then paste it again with keep text only. So we're going to press Control Z again because I want to show you another way around this. In the event that you forget to do it and you're going through your papers and everything, and you're like, gosh darn it, I really wish I didn't forget to do that. Well, go ahead and highlight this, and you have this little eraser up here, which will clear all formatting from that document that text came in with. So watch. Boop. Super duper helpful. And of course, this isn't formatted exactly how it would be, because normally you'd need to have your works cited up here in the middle. And then you need to come on over here. And what I like to do is just press Enter where I see a break at the end. And I press Tab. And that makes it easy. Now with some of these web addresses, you don't need to press Enter. You just need to press Tab, and it will conform to the new formatting you made with the first Enter. To do that even more properly, you're going to go over here to Layout. Make certain you take off the after, because you'll see just barely that there's a little bit of an extra space after the first line and in between the next line. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. But that's obviously still not double spaced like we're supposed to. So then you'll go in here, go to double, and that way everything will be nice and uniform for your teacher, and they'll love you, and you won't get dinged on all those points like I did when I first started. So hopefully some of that helped you today. If that's all you needed, great, go ahead and leave. I'm just going to show you guys a couple of more things that I found to be helpful to me about Moody Library. So you're going to click on the Moody Bible Institute, where you can see my cursor in the top left-hand corner. That'll bring us back to here. All right. In fact, actually, you don't even really need to do that. You can just type in a new thing right here in the key box. The address, well, the search bar. That's the word I was looking for. So we're going to do something like I said earlier, the image of God. Oh, sorry about that, Siri. All right, so we're going to look up the image of God. Now, obviously, you'll have to use this for whatever class you're doing, because obviously not everybody has the image of God. But this just happens to be on my mind right now because of my anthropology class. Now, if you're anything like me, when I first started, I saw all of this and I'm like, okay, this is great, but I can't really use any of these books. It's like, I'm great that, you could cite each and every single one of these if you have a hard copy or if you have a Kindle copy, but it's not helpful if you're looking for sources that you actually need to use in your paper. Well, Moody can help you there too. Occasionally, if you do it just this general search like this, you'll be able to find, okay, cool, change image and the image of God. Okay, maybe this might help me. Again, you can kind of click on the PDF text, and sometimes you'll have articles available. For some reason, that's having trouble. Here, let's try this. The answer to another authority office in the image of God. Okay, this is just being mean to me. Oh, you want to know what happened? I accidentally logged out when I did this. I bet $1 million. So let's go ahead and try that again. The image of God. Bam. Yep, and that's what happened. When you click that Moody Bible Institute button, that's not a home. That will kind of bring you back to this part. That will exit you out of the application. So it's good to know that for the future. Don't ever click on that, otherwise you'll log yourself out. So now we need to log ourselves back in. Okay, and bam. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and do the image of God again. Let's go ahead and try these PDFs we found on here. Again, sometimes these will be helpful for your article, sometimes they won't. I don't know what's going on there. But what's going to be super helpful is if you go to the ebooks. The ebooks will specifically update your search so that it's you'll get more options for you to actually look at. these will be resources you can actually utilize in your papers. Especially, it's really nice for those who don't have access to a library, especially a theological library. So we're going to go ahead and click on this first, just the ink, the image of God, and image-driven age. And you'll notice we have a couple of options down here. One is to full download, and you need to sign in, and that will actually count against like you actually withdrawing a library book. Okay, you'll actually have to borrow, much like you would from a regular library. Okay, what I found to be the easiest course of action is this EDF full text stuff right here, because it will load up the whole book, as you can see right here, and bam, all of a sudden you have an online book that you didn't have to buy, that you didn't have to walk out of your house to go to a library for. And this is something that you can peruse to see if this might actually help you. And you can go chapter by chapter. And you'll notice this little icon over here indicates you can actually download the chapter as well, which is pretty gosh darn cool. But I think you need to be logged in and borrow it much like you would a regular book. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you're like me, and you're doing an assignment, and you're like, ah, man, I have this image of God, but this whole thing's about the image of God, and I really need something specific. So, you don't, I mean, we don't have the time to read books in mass, especially if you're utilizing them. What I found helps is to press F3, and then I can specifically do a search to look exactly what I'm looking for. So let's try sin, and how it relates to the image of God. All right, so we've got a couple of hits. All right, eating with sin. So this appears to be quoting a poem. Oop, and the second one didn't even hit. All right, so we know that, at least in this particular chapter, sin isn't really relevant. So now we're going to use our cursor, go back over to the left side, go to part 1, canon. All right, so now maybe we'll find something more about sin in this chapter. Now this search function that I'm using, the F3, it's important to realize that it doesn't search through the whole book. It only searches through what chapter has been loaded into your browser for you to read at that particular moment. So we're going to go ahead and try this again. We're going to try sin again. All right, so we got 3 more hits. Oh, we got 16 more hits. Okay, cool. So you'll notice that it pops up a bunch of different times in this particular chapter. You'll also notice that it's not actually the word sin, but it's the letters S-I-N in particular words. Sometimes this can be really frustrating. So, a way to make your search bar look specifically for the word sin is to do what's called a Boolean search. This is really helpful if you're doing smaller words like the word sin. All right, so now I can go through all 16 iterations of when the letters S-I-N pop up in this particular chapter. And oh, I got one, a sinful Adam. I can go back and read that, but that's not the purpose of this. I want to tell you about the Boolean search. And how to do a Boolean search is pretty easy. You do a quote, you do the word you're looking for, and then you close the quote. And then the search will look specifically for the word sin, not for just the letters S-I-N appearing wherever it may be within that particular chapter. So, let's go to the second chapter, Poised Between Life and Death, the Imago Dei after Eden. All right, after Eden, there was a fall, there was sin. We are probably going to find the word sin here somewhere. All right, so we're just going to reset the search, and I was totally wrong. The word sin is nowhere in this particular area. So let's just try looking for it. Basic, depressing, business. All right. So the word sin really isn't even in this chapter. Let's try something else. Let's try the word image. Now, if you have a word like image, you probably aren't going to need to do the Boolean search because chances are you won't find that word within other words. Sin is just so small. You really only need to do that if you're looking for smaller words that could possibly fit. I think I've made my point. So, image, great. I've got all of this stuff about image. Now, because it's searching the web page, it's everything that's loaded, including the stuff on the left-hand side. So you got to scroll past that, before you can get to the meat and potatoes of looking for something that is actually within the chapter. All right? And then what you can do is you can read through that particular page, the page before, current, and after, so that way you can get the context of what the quote you're looking for is. And so, okay, great, I found something about an image. Like, Boaz, we live in times when everyone else does. Let's say this fits in my paper. Oh, fantastic. That's great. And then it's just as easy as copying and pasting. All right. Bring it to your Word program. Here's our Works Cited page. We're going to pretend that this is our full essay. Chris went to church and loved it. And this author said this. All right. You'll notice you get a bunch of other things here. What's really nice about copying and pasting is it also gives you a citation, which is super helpful. It'll give you one in MLA and APA. So obviously we don't need that. Boop. Right? So that way if you find a particular quote that you like that belongs in your paper, we'll also bring you the citation, which you can then indeed, okay, I'm going to go ahead and copy, or I'm going to cut that, paste it down here, so that way I don't have to worry about it later. Get rid of the stuff you don't need, come over here, just reformat, and then you're good to go. Okay, I messed that up, but you get the idea. So, with that said, I went over a couple of ways in which you can use the Moody Crowell Library. I hope this helps you out. This is kind of an informal video, so my apologies if it's not super high tier. I'm just hoping that it helps to get the point across that you can utilize Crowell Library to really help you with your papers. Again, you can go back to a results list if you don't like a particular thing. You could even open multiple tabs. That's usually what I do. So open a tab about this one. And that way you can keep your search results open while you're also looking for other things. Let's see what an EPUB full text looks like. All right. And there you go. Now you have 1 million books at your disposal for Crowell Library for you to help you with your papers. Hopefully this will help theological students like myself, as well as other students who are studying other things. Hope this video was helpful. I thank you for listening to me ramble for, oh gosh darn it, I don't know how long, 10, 15 minutes. And thanks. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.